In early 2018, there was a viral video showing men dressed in military hardware and fatigue executing women and children in the far north region of Cameroon. The video was alleged to have been recorded between 2014 to 2018, following the fight against Boko Haram insurgency in the far north region of Cameroon. When that video came out, a lot of stakeholders from the government made it clear that those were not Cameroonian soldiers seen executing the women and children, unarmed, vulnerable, who ought to be protected. Several communiques came out from the ranks of different government offices, sending one united message that the military of Cameroon did not execute those women. And they stem from the fact that professionalism is what is being upheld as far as the code of engagement is concerned at the battlefield. The then Minister of Communication, Issa Chiruma Bakari, came out in a press conference and said that which occurred in the video, which many were being seen or were seen, did not take place in Cameroon. Chiruma said it was in the far north, it was in Mali, and that whatever occurred in the far north region never occurred, that it was in Mali. Pressure mounted, and the British Broadcast Corporation, BBC, did a documentary, an investigative report, and brought out geographical evidence to prove that what occurred in Cameroon. Satellite imageries were brought comparing the scene of the video, and it was then that in April, Cameroon's president Paul Biya called for an investigation. An investigation was carried out, and after deep investigation, it was revealed that some unscrupulous elements of Cameroon military carry out the attack of innocent civilians, the women and children who were killed. And in 2020, February 2020, the military men whom earlier the government has rejected that it never occurred, as the spokesman of the government, Chiruma, said, they were sentenced by Yaoundé Military Tribunal, which was an acknowledgement that indeed that action took place in Cameroon, and indeed it was carried out by some unscrupulous members of Cameroon Defense and Security Forces, thereby forcing the government to backtrack on their initial communique that has said that the soldiers had nothing in connection to that. Why they were being sentenced on the 14th of February 2020, another incident occurred in Gabu, a locality in Du subdivision in Donga Mountain Division of the northwest region of Cameroon. This time, close to 21 to 23 civilians were unalive, including a pregnant woman, and 13 of them were children. And when the information came out, government spokesman confirmed that elements of the Rapid Intervention Battalion did not take part or did not execute or did not cause the unaliving of civilians. They stressed on the professionalism of our beloved military. They pointed out the fact that those people were killed or unalive by separatist fire, that the separatists launched a return fire, and petroleum products that were there exploded, resulting in the death of over 20 to 23 people, including a pregnant woman and 13 children, in what became known as the Valentine's Day Massacre, the Ngabu Massacre, on the 14th of February 2020, coinciding the same year that those who were seen perpetrating violence against unarmed civilians were sentenced. A lot of communiques came out, including that of Shankwete, stressing on the fact that the military never took part in that execution of civilians, that the armed separatist fighters be held responsible despite conflicting evidence from the locals on the scene, and even the divisional officer visited the area and he was told about what happened. Top-ranking government officials and government spokesman and military spokesperson refuted the fact that it was not done by some unscrupulous members of the armed of the military. Pressure mounted, and again in April that same 2020, President Paul Biya called for an independent inquiry be conducted, facing massive backlash from some rights organizations who said there are elements that may have indicated that that incident probably was carried out by some elements of the defense and security forces. A committee was set up, and after investigation, it was clear that some elements of Cameroon's defense and security forces carry out unprofessional conduct that resulted in the unaliving of between 21 to 23 civilians, including a pregnant woman, and of them 13 were children. It was in this February 2026 that those elements were sentenced by Yaoundé Military Tribunal, thereby forcing the government to backtrack on its initial promise. And none of those top-ranking officials who had denied the involvement of armed fighters, the involvement of some unscrupulous military, came out to apologize. Justice was served, thank God, to the benevolence of Cameroon's president, Paul Biya, who said, I need an independent inquiry into this issue. If not, the case would have been closed with the matter that it was carried out by separatists. But thank God for President Biya, wisdom and magnanimity, a committee was set out. And now we are talking about the Ziranyam incident in Jakiri, in Bui division, in the northwest region of Cameroon, where on the night of 26th of April 2026, an incident occurred and some between 14 to 20 people were killed. And some are saying that this incident occurred, that all those who were killed because they are separatist fighters. Some eyewitnesses are saying that yes, separatist fighters were killed, but that it was a festival which was organized by the Ziranyam community, and that the separatists came there. And because the people cannot push away the separatists since they don't have arms, some people alerted the defense and security forces, who in good faith went to the area to remove the people deemed terrorists so that the community can be safe. But in the course of doing that, some eyewitnesses said they actually carried out sporadic shooting, and that resulted in the unaliving of some separatists and alongside some civilians. However, Siri Search Atonfak, government spokesman, has released a statement. In his statement, he revealed that the defense and security forces did not in any way unalive any civilian. He said all of those unalive with the weapons that were displayed, all, including the minors and the woman, Ya Isala, whose husband had been killed by separatists for refusing to adhere to the instruction. According to the communique of Siri Search Atonfak, all these men are terrorists, as defined by the state of Cameroon. Some people, like Barrister Nkongo Bala Felix, has called for an independent investigation. From the Mother St. Francis massacre in 2020 in Kumba, we moved to a series of killings. How many more Cameroonians will have to die before the conflict comes to an end? The Pope of the Roman Catholic Church, the most respected person in the world, deemed and seen as God's representative on earth, gave his message, and the message of peace, dialogue, reconciliation, justice. We are counting 3 weeks or 2 weeks, getting to 3 weeks since the Pope visit. Will the government of Cameroon reply the Pope's peace message? This is House of Commons. We meet Tah Javis Mai. You're welcome back from that. If you are just joining us, you're watching House of Commons. In the studio, we are joined by a cream of panelists who are here with us with the representative of the Jovians Party. Good afternoon and bon après-midi, madame.
Merci, monsieur. Merci, chers téléspectateurs. Je suis du parti Jovians Cameroun et je suis très heureuse de me retrouver sur votre plateau ce soir.
Thank you very much. And in the studio, we are joined by Mr. Kimbang Vitalis, who is constantly in the northwest region of Cameroon, and he's living a reality. And every week he's in Bamenda and understand the challenges of the people of Bamenda. Mr. Kimbang is also a member of the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, CPD, and welcome and happy Sunday.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tah Javis. Thank you to my fellow member of Jovians Party. I'm sure it's my first time hearing the name. Sure that you people have the strength to face us when elections are coming. So I want to greet everybody who's watching us this afternoon and say that they should go to their televisions, that at least we are going to throw more lights on the topic of the week, which is the killing in Zerenyam.
Thank you very much. To begin the program, I want to wish you guys a happy Sunday. You, Mr. Nyam, and your wife, Joan, happy Sunday to you. And happy Sunday to Rosemary. Happy Sunday to Maya Kelia Senior. Happy Sunday to everyone watching us right now. I want to seize this opportunity to wish you a very big happy birthday to you, Mike. Happy birthday to you, Mike Odogu. And many more years to you. May God continue to guide and protect you. To you also, Rose, happy birthday to you. Many more years. God continue to guide and protect you as you celebrate your birthday. Happy birthday to you, Rose. And to continue with the program, I read this communique which was signed by the government spokesman or the military spokesman, Research Atonfak, regarding the Zeranyam killing. And here he stressed that all those who were killed are separatist fighters. In the communique signed on the 30th of April 2026, it says the Ministry of Defense hereby informs in the early hours of Sunday, 26 April 2026, following a tip-off from the population, the Defense and Security Forces conducted a major combat operation in the locality of Zeranyam, Jakiri Subdivision, Bui Division, Northwest Region. The aim of the operation was to neutralize dangerous terrorists from various factions who were united under the command of the self-styled General Capo and preparing violent attacks in the region. As the infiltration platoon approached, the heavily armed terrorists opened fire in an attempt to halt their progress. Members of the Defense and Security Forces responded appropriately and professionally, neutralizing the terrorists. The following outcomes were recorded: 11 male terrorists neutralized, all bearing various ranks and titles, including the pseudonyms Colonel Smart, Commander Hassan, and Commander Foku, all under the command of the self-styled General Agumu. Commander Freeman from Kikaikom Kumu Subdivision, Bui Division, under the command of the self-styled General Kapu, and Commander Dangote, an explosive technician specialized in improvised explosive device IEDs, who have been wreaking havoc in the northwest region. 3 females terrorists who were logisticians under the command of the alias General Kapu. Numerous terrorists on the run and wanted. Several military weapons and accessories, 12 improvised explosive device IEDs and remote control detonators, various military gears, and 38 motorcycles were used to transport the terrorists to the site. The tightening of control at surrounding road junctions by the Defense and Security Forces with the assistance of the local population led to the arrest of 2 wounded fugitives. They are Dakar, precisely 16 years, bodyguard of the pseudo General Capo, Lenny Mirabel Kifisi, partner of the aforementioned pseudo General Capo, and the chief logistics officer who was responsible for the transporting the group's weapons concealed in bags of fresh food. The latter was already wanted for acts of terrorism, Combating operations are ongoing in the area to locate and apprehend other fugitives. Finally, the defense and security forces are determined to increase their effort to find and neutralize outlaws. Signed, Atomfak Gwemo Cyril Serge, Head of Communication Division, Navy Captain. That's the military spokesman, Mr. Kimbang. I'm sure you were in Bamenda the time that this incident occurred.
Yes.
Your take?
Yes, I wouldn't have been in Bamenda when this incident happened. And there are various versions of the incident because as of now, we cannot really tell what really took place because each person has its own story to tell. I happen to have read the communique signed by the Nzeremnyam Cultural and Development Press. Yes, I read the communique, and I'm still to digest actually what they said, because in the communique they said that Nzeremnyam had a cultural festival. And the fund, because of insecurity, decided that to narrow it down to a one-day cultural and fundraising festival. And in the course of it, there is a palace which they call One. That's insisted that they must come to the
cultural festival,
to the disapproval of the fund of Nzeremnyam. And so when the fund of Nzeremnyam said that they should wait and that there will be consultations before they are called. According to the report of the Nzeremnyam Cultural and Development President, since the Nwerom and other traditional things are being controlled by the separatists, as they said it, they insisted that they must come to Nzeremnyam and participate. So it is said in that communique, because I'm not giving my own version.
I remember the communique.
They said that that is said that when in the night, the fund of Nzeremnyam was surprised to see that the people whom he has said that should not come to Nzeremnyam, that they should wait and that there will be consultation before they come, actually came to Nzeremnyam in a very large
uninvited.
Uninvited, very large number. And so that's what made the fund to leave the village and to leave and to other villagers to flee into the bushes, as the report says. So they also went further to say that if you look at those who have been killed, most of them, they are not from Nzeremnyam. They are from Yabatikaiki, Kaikom, like the woman Salai is from Jakiri, and the rest. So that is the version which we got. Another version said that among those who were killed, there was a carpenter who was called to come to Nzeremnyam to work on the building where the separatists were lodging. So when he came, he discovered that he discovered something was fishy. So they said no, he should sleep there and work the next day. So he slept in that house with 5 of his workers. So in the night, when there was that confrontation, all the 6 of them were killed. There's another version. This says that another person left Kikai to Nzeremnyam. It was a bike rider. He went to drop a passenger. So I don't know what happened. So he was caught on the crossfire. So as for the wife of Mr. Emmanuel Salai, I cannot really say what she was doing there at that godly hour, but I know she's a civilian. But you cannot like say you want to defend somebody who's not there. Maybe she had her motives why she was at that place at that ungodly hour. So it is a very disturbing thing, because I want to urge the government that when something happens like this, there should not be hasty
to come up with a communique.
Yes, it should be well investigated, because Sidi and Tomfak might be saying like somebody who's so professional, because I believe that when they are sending soldiers out, they are not believe that there's a commander who will send soldiers out to go and kill
innocent civilian.
So when it happens, I think they should go to investigation before coming out with whatsoever they want to write. Because like what happened in Garbu, and they quickly came out and defended that it was not the military. When it finally came out that it was the military, it now began to give doubts to the minds of the population.
It's similar thing in the north.
Yes, a similar thing in the north when something happens. So I want to believe that Mr. Siri and Tomfak, you are doing a good job, but I would have loved that you take some time, do your investigation as a senior boss, then you come out with a communique that will not contradict
the initial one.
Yes, because when you come out with a communique like what Issa Chiruma Bakari did when there was a Ngarbo incident, and at the end, when the head of state said that it should be investigated, and it was discovered that it was the military that committed the act, it discredited the government. So I want to believe that.
And it's because of those acts that people are still doubting this.
Yes, both those two acts that people are still doubting this one. So as of now, I happen to have come from that area. I come from Jakiri, which is just a few kilometers away from Zeremnyam. I have not yet got somebody on the ground to really give me the what really transpired. Because normally I was trying to get a number from somebody around that area who said, okay, I was present at the scene and this is what really transpired. So whatever I'm saying here is what I've read on social media. So I believe that because the president of Nzeremnyam Development and Cultural Association, he said that he left Bamenda, went to Nzeremnyam and did his investigations, and what he said that there's some veracity in it. So we can only depend on what
he contradicts what the military has said.
Yeah, he now contradicts what the military has said. So as of now, I want to believe that we will have to wait. Maybe the head of state will order another
independent inquiry, because there are groups that are calling out for independent inquiry, like that of Barrister Bobalan Komo Felix, that there should be an independent inquiry, insisting that some civilians, he's insisting that some civilians were among those killed in the military raid. Like you said, the carpenter, because probably it could have been, for sure, separatists were killed, for sure. Yes, for sure, separatists were killed. Yeah.
But the number of, the thing is that I was reading something when they said that when the military came, they wanted to do selective killing. But when they opened fire, because you know the number of bikes that we see, 38 in numbers, meaning that there were at least 38 people in that house. And other people escaped.
Yes.
It was said that when the military came and opened fire, the people too
returned fire.
So the military now was forced now to use heavy fire to defend themselves. So maybe in the course of using the heavy fire to defend themselves, because I know that with the separatists, the fact is that they have their tactics that sometimes they train them in the bush that they can escape when there is an attack. But now, the civilians who are just innocent, they will not know how to defend themselves.
Yeah, because they were not even preparing for that. Yeah.
And so we can conclude that, we might just conclude that because of that, they paid the price for being at the wrong place.
Jovians, la crise anglophone a pris un nouveau phase. Et à ce moment-ci, on a vu ce qui se passe à Nozo, plus de 14 personnes, et tu as vu le communiqué de Siri Sèche à Tomfak. Quelle est la position de Jovian sur la crise anglophone et à ce qui s'est passé à Bamenda?
Tout d'abord, nous adressons vraiment nos regrets et nos sincères condoléances à toutes ces familles éprouvées, et nous sommes vraiment touchés par cette situation qui ne fait que durer et perdurer, et nous avons des pertes en vies humaines, des pertes en matériaux. C'est une situation qui est déplorable et vraiment regrettable, parce que je comprends que en tant que maman, un être qui est tué, que ce soit armé, sécessionniste, tout ce qu'on peut dire, il vient d'une femme.
Oui.
Moi, en tant que femme, en tant que maman, cette situation me fait pleurer chaque jour. Parce que personne n'aimerait avoir son enfant qui grandit, entre dans l'armée pendant qu'elle attend que son fils l'enterre et que c'est l'enfant. On t'appelle, viens prendre l'enfant parce que l'enfant a choisi un métier, défendre son pays. Vraiment, à ma conception, le gouvernement devait déjà frapper sur les poings sur la table, se poser des questions, puisque cette guerre, le côté adverse ne lâche pas. Nous, en tant que les grands, parce que jusqu'ici, c'est le gouvernement qui est grand dans cette affaire. Qu'est-ce que ces enfants demandent? Et la guerre n'a jamais résolu un problème.
Oui, oui.
La violence ne résout pas un problème. La violence, la guerre, tout ce qu'on peut dire, ça n'a jamais résolu un problème. Il y a un problème de fond. Qu'est-ce qui était à la base de cela? Revenons à la base et essayons de comprendre pourquoi ça s'enflamme, ça ne fait que s'enflammer. L'État a fait ce qu'il pouvait faire. Ils ont déclaré la guerre à Boko Haram, ils ont envoyé des militaires, ils ont fait tout depuis peut-être près de 10 ans. Il ne fait que déployer des forces et des forces et des forces, mais ça ne résout pas le problème. Le côté adverse ne lâche pas. Il ne faut que tirer la ficelle. Comme pour dire à l'État camerounais, nous allons arriver, nous devons arriver. Ici, nous ne lâchons pas prise. Mais si tu tires quelque chose avec ton fils, à un moment en tant que grand, lâche un peu, appelle l'enfant, demande à l'enfant que, mais pourquoi tu ne fais que me tirer dessus? Nous attendons cela depuis, mais nous ne voyons pas, je ne crois pas que l'État essaie un jour assis et se poser rien. Posons-nous des vraies questions. Qu'est-ce qui ne va pas au Nozo? Qu'est-ce que ces gens demandent? Pourquoi tant de morts? Et c'est la jeunesse qui est en péril. Hein?
Oui,
c'est la jeunesse.
Soit c'est le militaire qui est mort, soit c'est...
Et c'est la jeunesse. Oui. Parce que on ne m'a jamais dit qu'on a tué un papa peut-être de 75 ans, 90 ans au Nozo. On nous montre tous les jeunes, les élèves, les bébés, qui n'ont rien à foutre avec cela. C'est la jeunesse. Et même ces gens qui sont en train de massacrer à Nozo, j'ai dit que ces gens font mal. Tu ne peux pas venir dans ton village. On ne peut pas me dire qu'on ne connaît pas ses enfants. Tu ne peux pas venir dans ton village. Tu massacres tout ton village. C'est ton village. Oui, c'est ta patrie. C'est là où tu viens. Demain, qu'est-ce que tu diras? Que j'étais fière d'exterminer toute ma famille? Je me pose des questions. À la fin, mais je comprends que ces gens-là, peut-être, c'est pas trop.
Madame, I would like to intervene here and say that I live in the Northwest and I live the reality of what is happening. Je vis la réalité. Ce qui se passe au Nozo. The problem is that when you go to Northwest and Southwest, there are 3 categories of people on the ground.
Oui.
There is a category of people who call themselves the defense forces or the Ambazonian.
Oui, Ambazonian, oui.
Within these people, we have those who have taken advantage of the war to be kidnapping people and taking money.
Oui.
Then we have people who entered the war just because they want to revenge. That my person was killed by the military, I want to revenge. So now there is a whole lot of confusion in the Northwest as of now as we speak. Because you don't know who is who in the Northwest. I can just decide in the Northwest to say, okay, madame, je suis in Amazonie. How will you identify me? Because, so now, I've always said that, I said this some months ago, that if we don't solve this problem through a genuine, inclusive, frank dialogue, we will continue to have this problem.
Vous allez m'excuser. Yes. Ce mot amazonien, là, je viens de l'écouter. Hein. Je viens de commencer à l'entendre. Parce que je ne crois pas qu'il y a un peuple au Cameroun qu'on appelle les Amazoniens. Sauf si je ne connais pas.
Non, si, quand tu knows maintenant là, no, let me speak my own language.
No,
if you go to the Northwest now,
oui.
You will discover that anybody there who holds a gun, we call him Amba.
Ambazonien.
Ambazonian.
Yeah, anybody that holds a gun.
Holds a gun, yes. It's an Ambazonian. And there is a lot of...
The reason is, before you continue,
yes.
The reason is because those who pick up arms against the state say they are Ambazonians.
Ambazonians.
But pas les civils. It's not the civilians, not the civilians who say they are Ambazonians. So the civilians have nothing to do with.
Ils n'ont rien à voir.
Yeah,
C'est
so
un État.
those who pick up arms say that, okay, the fact that it was Southern Cameroon, they said that it was Southern Cameroon, and before Southern Cameroon, the initial name, they said, before the name Southern Cameroon, the initial name was the Ambas Bay, known as Ambazonian. So it was now, as time went on, they said they are going back to the original name of Southern Cameroon. Now they have decided that, okay, they should call them Ambazonian. C'est d'accord?
Yes.
Bien compris maintenant.
Donc, en fait, dans le sud-ouest du Cameroun, il y a un peuple qu'on appelle ambazonien.
Non, c'est
Non,
pas comme ça.
non, ce n'est pas
It's
ça.
not like that.
C'est les gens qui portent les armes.
Ah, ce sont les gens qui portent les armes.
Oui.
Comme qu'on appelle armées camerounais.
Oui, voilà.
Comme on dit les
Oui,
armées.
oui, yes.
Et maintenant, ils ont créé leurs armées
yes.
qui sont les ambazoniens.
Yes.
Au lieu de protéger
Yes,
leur territoire, ils
yes.
sont plutôt en train de tuer les peuples.
Yes,
Mais
you're
ça ne
right.
se fait pas.
You're right.
No, it's not.
Si tu portes les armes, c'est pour me protéger. Si tu es de l'armée de mon État, comme tu dis, armée amazonienne, et que c'est pour protéger le sud-ouest, tu dois me protéger. Tu ne dois pas sortir ton arme contre moi. Tu ne dois pas me kidnapper. Tu dois, parce que je ne comprends pas.
No, the thing is that, madam, I'm just telling you that there's a whole lot of confusion because people are using that umbrella to steal, to settle scores, and to do a lot of kidnappings.
Monsieur,
Mais quand on dit que, when we say Ambazonie,
je ne suis pas avec l'Amazonie. Je dis ceci, n'est-ce pas?
oui, yes,
Dans tout ça, c'est le civil, c'est nous, le civil qui souffrons. Ce sont les âmes faibles qui souffrent. Dans tout ça, les parents qui n'ont rien à voir, les élèves qui n'ont rien à voir, les enfants du primaire qui n'ont rien à voir, en fait, les grands ne sont pas concernés. Pourquoi ils ne touchent que des couches vulnérables? Les grands ne sont pas concernés, ne sont même pas inquiétés. Ils ne sont pas inquiétés. Ce ne sont que les couches vulnérables. Pourquoi? C'est la question qu'on doit se poser. Pourquoi les cibles ne sont que des couches vulnérables? C'est ça la cible. Soit on attaque un marché, soit on attaque l'église, soit on attaque les écoles. Bon, entre-temps, à supposant que votre Amazonien, là, je ne comprends pas trop, c'est l'armée. Non, c'est là qui se dit Amazonien. C'est l'armée, n'est-ce pas? C'est l'armée. L'armée est là pour protéger un territoire. Nous sommes d'accord. Pourquoi est-ce qu'il laisse alors qu'on vienne brûler l'école de ce territoire? C'est là où il a fréquenté pour être dans l'armée, non? Dans cette armée-là. Il doit protéger, non? Parce que dans cette école, il y a son petit frère. S'il n'a pas son petit frère, il y a son neveu. Il y a quelqu'un de sa famille à son sang.
One thing is that, madam, you have not taken time to understand what is really happening up there. For example, tomorrow is Monday.
Oui.
It's what we call Country Sunday. Ghost town. If tomorrow you open your school,
yes,
mean that you have disobeyed they will say that you have disobeyed the law of the Amazonian.
Oui.
They will come for you. If they say that there's a lockdown, that's it's Villemont.
Oui, lundi, Villemont lundi.
Villemont, oui. You go and walk.
Je pars ouvrir, je pars travailler.
Oui. You become their target. Yes. But now, the confusion is that you don't know who is who.
On ne sait pas qui
On peut savoir comme ça. Et je suis
parce que les gens ne portent pas les tenues.
Ils ne portent pas de tenues.
Oui.
Donc on ne connaît pas qui est qui. C'est un gars asymétrique.
So you cannot know who is who. That's where the whole lot.
And maintenant, also there is also a situation where the military dresses in civilian.
And
There's also a situation where those fighters also dress in the military.
We had a situation in Bamenda last time where a military dressed in civilian, he was looking like an amber. He went to buy banga at Old Town. So when the civilians saw him, they went and reported to the military that Ambazoni down no Kati. So the military came, took ambush, killed him. It is when they were undressing him that they discovered that it was their colleague. That is the confusion that people are going through in the Northwest.
Et tout ça là, c'est à cause de quoi?
C'est ça que j'ai dit. J'ai dit ceci à l'entame de mes propos. L'État camerounais, qui est debout, comme il le dit si bien, devrait déjà trouver une solution à ce problème. Parce que ce problème, c'est intercamerounais. On ne sort pas d'ailleurs pour venir créer la guerre au Cameroun. Ce sont des Camerounais. Et nous savons tous que les Camerounais aiment leur pays. Même ceux qu'on dit qu'ils sont en train de détruire là, ils aiment leur pays. Bon, qu'est-ce qu'il faut maintenant? Qu'est-ce qui n'a pas marché en fait? C'est pas où on devait même commencer. Qu'est-ce qui n'a pas marché? Pourquoi cette guerre ne fait que durer des années et des années? La guerre dure, peut-être moi, peut-être je vais dire que je ne suis pas concernée par la guerre parce que ça ne m'a pas encore touché. Mais quand ça va me toucher, qu'est-ce que je ferai en ce moment-là?
Ça te touche parce qu'il y a beaucoup les impôts maintenant à cause de la guerre.
Non, laissons d'abord, on parle on comprend tout cela. On parle de toucher physiquement, toucher mes proches. Nous vivons toute cette guerre. Nous vivons toute cette guerre, même si nous ne sommes pas meurtris, comme les parents diraient de ceux qui parlent là. Nous vivons toutes ces guerres. Parce que même quand tu marches dans la rue, tu ne sais pas qui est déjà partout où à Douala. Il y a les assassinats, il y a les ceci, il y a les enlèvements. Nous qui vivons même la guerre froide, une guerre silencieuse. Au Cameroun, même à Douala, nous vivons une guerre silencieuse. Parce que tu ne peux pas marcher dans les rues de Douala sans être en insécurité. On va t'enlever, on va trouver le corps, on va violer. Donc, je ne sais pas. Il faut vraiment que le gouvernement se lève pour ce problème-là. Le Cameroun.
Okay, Mr. Kimbang, let us look at how far we have come. Now, with this Jakiri killing, a lot of people are still saying that civilians are present in those killed. And some people are saying that, what were civilians doing there? Because there are some questions that people are saying that, what were civilians doing in the midst of the Amba fighters? And some are also saying that the population should reject these Amba fighters and go and report them to the military. But you live the daily reality. Is this feasible?
That is something. Somebody who lives in Douala, you can say that it is easy for you to go and report Amba fighters. When you report the Amba fighters to the military, are you going to pack your things and leave the Northwest, or you are going to be there? What has been so frustrating in the Northwest is that, as I earlier said, you don't know who is who. If somebody comes here and he comes to your house and says, Javis, I am give support of 50,000, 30,000, you decide to attack the person or maybe kill the person. The tendency is that you don't know how many of them will come after you and your family. So people are just sometimes they just have to obey what they come across, because when you see the military saying that the population to report this, it is extremely a very, very difficult something. And being in Norwest, nobody would like to put his life at risk to say that I want to go and report the Amba, because you don't know who is who. So I think that I was saying the other day in Bamenda that the military need to be very friendly with the population, because the population is suffering on both sides, especially when you move in Bamenda, especially the police. Because as for the league that I've seen in Bamenda, as for the regular army that I've seen in Bamenda, they are doing very excellent jobs. Then when you move in Bamenda, you discover that the police, there are a lot of harassment. Even the harassed students who are coming back from university, they harassed drivers, they harassed bike riders. I was telling them the other day that, look, those who can give you information, secretly gives you information about what is going on, are the bike riders and the taxi drivers. But when you make them your enemies, when you extort them, when you harass them, you expose yourself to risk, because if they see anything coming, they are not going to inform you. But sincerely saying that somebody can know that this is an Amba and will go and report the person, practically in Norwest, it's not easy. It's a very, very difficult something. Because sometimes you move in the Northwest and somebody will just hint you that you see that person going, he's an Amba. Yes. You know him. But how are you going to risk your life to say that, to report him?
Are you even sure what that person is telling you the truth?
Yeah, you want the person telling you the truth.
Because people have used it to settle scores.
So that is where we have a whole lot of confusion. There's a lot of confusion. And people are not only using Amba to fight for liberation. People are using Amba to settle scores. How you hear Bamenda, they kill the manager of Sub Boys, they kill the manager of Mogamo, they kill these people. Whereas these people, they're not doing their job. They are not a threat to the independence of Southern Cameroon. So you discover that people now are using Amba for their own selfish reasons. And there is a lot of confusion. I want to say that for this confusion, this war, because when you look at this war in the Northwest and the Southwest, it's a very senseless war. It's a war where we are just like you are biting your own finger, you are biting your own self. Because when you look in the Northwest, those in the Northwest, they don't really hate being Cameroonians. They don't hate it. But I think that there are certain things that if government put in place, certain demands that if government put in place, it is going to like maybe reduce the tension. Because when you go to Bamida, when Cameroon is playing football, you discover that people are still very keen. They still support Cameroon, meaning that they are still they still see themselves as Cameroonians, but maybe what is making them not to feel Cameroonian enough is that they are not enjoying the country as they are supposed to enjoy. And one thing too, when you move to Bamenda, the people feel marginalized. Because I moved in Bamenda in the taxi. We have two languages. I don't say that French is bad, but I've seen instances where you break a bike rider, maybe somebody who has never left the Northwest, and you harass him in French. When you harass him in French, he knows that that's a language of occupation. You feel that because you harass him and say things that he does not understand. How do you expect him to? And there are some of these policemen who are from the Northwest, born and bred in the Northwest. They have just come here and they have learned French. Then when they meet their fellow brothers in Bamenda, they behave as if they don't know English. Meaning that they are using the French language as a language of marginalization. And that is one of the things that when you are in a taxi and the policeman breaks a taxi and when you are leaving, you hear comments that, can these people not speak in English? What do they think they are? Whereas all of us are Cameroonians, but you see people referring to other people as can these people. When you tell them, can these people, it means that they are not happy with the people. So I want to believe that if this problem is not solved, this blame game is going to continue and continue and continue. Because we talk about Ngarbu, we talk about Pinyin, we talk about...
even the Pinyin massacre still have a lot of unexplained facts.
Unexplained facts.
Because some people claim that it was a setup, some people say no, it wasn't a setup.
So if we don't see how to solve the problem, this problem can only answer.
Ok. Madame, quand on regarde la situation des prochaines élections législatives, est-ce que vos partis sont contents de la manière que les membres des députés sont arrangés le problème de crise anglophone? Vous êtes content dans les réactions? Parce que depuis la crise anglophone, on n'a pas parlé de ça.
C'est justement pour ça que nous voulons qu'il y ait cette élection. Parce que nous sommes en train de travailler et pour gagner cette élection, pour que les choses puissent changer, même au niveau de l'Assemblée nationale. L'Assemblée nationale, il ne parle pas de... Comme j'ai dit tout à l'heure, le diable n'est que dans le placard du voisin. Oui, mais n'oublions pas que ce diable demain peut entrer dans ton placard.
Oui,
je ne suis pas concernée, ça ne me regarde pas, ça ne touche pas ma famille. C'est ce que ces gens de l'Assemblée nationale se disent.
Oui.
Parce qu'ils ne sont pas peut-être de ce côté-là.
Est-ce que les membres des députés de Nozo, est-ce qu'ils vivent même dans les...
Ils ne sont pas de ce côté.
Alors qu'ils devaient être là.
C'est le bas peuple qui souffre. C'est pour ça que je pleure cette situation. Donc les gens qui devaient porter la parole à l'État ne sont pas concernés. Et du coup, je ne suis pas concernée. Ça ne me regarde pas. Ce n'est pas mon problème. Ça ne me concerne que si ça a touché une tierce personne dans ma famille. Bon, vu la façon, on sait déjà que les députés ne font rien, l'État a fait ce qu'il pouvait, ça ne marche pas, on devait changer la manière de faire. On devait changer la manière de voir les choses. Quand on part sur un débat, quand on essaie d'arranger un problème, cette façon ne résout pas le problème. On change la façon de faire. On a fait le grand dialogue national. On a demandé de déposer les armes. Mais qu'est-ce qui a d'abord poussé les gens à prendre des armes?
Là, on n'a pas, le député n'a pas encore parlé. Hein.
Commençons par là. C'est bien beau déposer les armes, vraiment, on ne voit pas, on ne veut plus ceci, on ne veut plus cela. Qu'est-ce qui a d'abord fait qu'on a pris des armes? C'est là-bas qu'on doit commencer ce problème.
Mais le gouvernement doit dire, on a organisé les dialogues nationaux inclusifs.
Ça n'a pas abouti.
En 2019, septembre 2019.
Ça n'a même pas accouché un œuf. Ça n'a même pas
accouché.
Il doit dire
qu'ils ont donné leur statut spécial.
Non, ça n'a même pas accouché un oiseau. Sinon, on ne devait plus être là en train de parler de la guerre de nos eaux. Depuis 2019, bientôt 10 ans, le gouvernement devait déjà savoir qu'il a échoué de ce côté, changer de stratégie. Parce que les gens qui ont commencé cette guerre, beaucoup d'entre eux ne vivent plus en 10 ans, beaucoup partent, beaucoup ne sont plus là. Maintenant, c'est comme une rotation. C'est comme si je meurs, on est encore, ils sont encore plus nombreux. Ce sont nos enfants. Ce ne sont pas les gens d'ailleurs, c'est ton frère, c'est mon frère. On se connaît, on connaît tous ces... on appelle quoi, les amabors ou quoi là. On les connaît. Ce ne sont pas les enfants qui sont sortis.
Ce sont les enfants aux communautés.
Oui, ils ne sont pas sortis de la lune. C'est mon frère, c'est ton frère. On connaît ces enfants-là. Ce sont nos enfants. Mais pourquoi ces enfants? Et ce ne sont pas les grands. Il n'y a pas de grands parmi. Il n'y a pas de 50 ans dedans. Ce sont les jeunes, fers de lance de la nation, comme on le dit si bien. Pourquoi ne pas rassembler ces enfants, les demander, commencer le problème d'abord, parce que c'est là où le problème a commencé. Commencer par là, dire, ok, vous avez demandé ceci, vous avez demandé cela. Voilà ne serait-ce qu'une solution d'une partie. Parce qu'il y a plusieurs. Bon, voilà, on commence à résoudre ici, progressivement, tant que le gouvernement est muet, parce que ça ne les touche pas. Vous voulez qu'on résolve le problème comment? Tant que le feu est chez le voisin, tant que le feu est chez le voisin, tu refuses d'éteindre. Parce que le feu va finir par arriver chez toi. Effectivement. Et il faut savoir qu'est-ce qui a causé le feu chez le voisin pour essayer de prendre des mesures de sécurité chez toi. Tant que le gouvernement ne peut pas arriver là, commencer le problème là où ça a commencé et trouver une solution vraiment, nous allons passer des années à pleurer nos enfants, pleurer nos soldats. Et vraiment, c'est regrettable.
Okay, you wanted to ask.
One thing that when you look at this Anglophone problem is seemingly difficult to solve is because the diaspora is not helping things. Because when this crisis started, this issue of kidnapping was never there. But if you look critically, it's called that those in the diaspora introduce it to them, that they could kidnap. Because I quite remember some of the diaspora said that in the war of independence, people can be forced to finance it. And they were taught how to kidnap people and collect money. And so when this guy discovered that...
Just a minute, let's receive this call, please. Yes, right on.
Yeah, yes, I'm staying here. I'm calling from Bamenda.
Your name?
My name is Focham Marius.
Yes.
Yeah. Here in Bamenda is not easy. Brother, it's not easy. It's not easy. You know, being with the military here in Bamenda is not easy.
Yes, I've gotten shift away from your set. You have a delay. It's a delay from there. I'm getting you loud and clear.
Okay. I'm away.
Yes, very well.
The problem about the military is that the harassment is too much. So the harassment is really too much. And hello.
We are getting you right on. Don't listen to your TV set. You will have a delay.
Okay. So yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy because even though you might pass the military this moment, and the same many way you're coming back is like you never pass that same road. So the thing is like. Yeah, so it's very stressful. Yeah. So that's just what I just wanted to say.
What of the voices? Is it also?
No, as the voices, I don't think, even if you know them, it's very risky. So to talk to the military, because everybody here is not safe. So it's not easy.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to pick this call so that you hear from.
Yeah, he just confirming what I said.
Yes.
That it's not the harassment, and that it is not easy to report the voices to the military. And why I was saying that those in the diaspora are not helping us, because most of the instructions that are given to these voices now, they come from the diaspora. Or even if you want to rally them and say that, okay, what you people are doing, maybe we should look at it in a different way. The sincere thing is that those in the diaspora will tell them that they should not listen. That's a fact, that they should not listen. That what they are telling them, they should not listen. So I think that those in the diaspora, please, we back home, we are suffering, we are bleeding, we are dying. If you go to Bamenda and see the way people are suffering, if you go to Bamenda and see the way people are stranded, you in the diaspora, please. We know that it is not going. We know that government are not being able to meet the demands of the people of English Cameroon. But please, we are dying.
Okay. Let's get this reaction from Mancom, please. Your name and where you are calling us from?
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is that
Yes. Your name?
the government, nobody trusts the government again in Cameroon.
Your name, sir?
Sorry, my name is Njando.
Okay.
I'm calling from Mancon town.
Yes.
Yes. Let's be honest with this Anglophone crisis. The thing is that nobody trusts this government again.
Yeah.
The thing is that there are three types of amber that we have made to understand.
Yes.
We have the green ambers. They have the ambers that have been formed by the government.
No, but you don't have a proof. You don't have a proof of that amber that has been formed by the government. So you can say allegedly.
I am coming. Then there is amber that people steal in the name of amber. Okay, and I also like to make you understand that the military has killed English-speaking Cameroonians more than the ambers.
No, where are you getting that statistics from? Because there's no.
I live in Bamenda.
Yes.
I live in Bamenda.
Yeah, but yeah, I understand. I'm not disputing your locality. I'm just talking about statistics. You know, we are talking
We
to.
are talking here on the ground.
Yes, but I need statistics. Where is it coming from?
Okay, do you trust the statistics from the government?
No, not statistics from the government. I want to ask you on his
So many lies.
No. I want to ask you from a level position. Has the amber never killed innocent civilian in Bamenda?
No, they did.
So we are talking about resolving the conflict, not just pointing one finger at one person. Both sides are communicating.
Let us get to the root cause. Let me tell you, the military have an ideology that nous sommes venus vous tuer, on va vous tuer.
Yeah, but the ideology is based on the fact that they have come to get rid of terrorists in the area.
No. When you get rid of the terrorists, what about the civilians? What are the civilians?
Because if that's the case, the whole of Bamenda would have been finished by now. If we see.
You know that you yourself talking there, you are dead and amber by a military man.
No, we are here. We are talking facts. When you call us one fact because we are talking to Cameroonian, not sentiment. Because at the end of the day, we are trying to solve a problem.
Yeah, no. Okay, let me.
Il a dit il y a trois catégories. Il y a les gens que les militaires sont organisés pour tuer, etc. Alors que c'est faux.
Let me come now to our parliamentarians on the ground. Our parliamentarians on the ground, they are not helping us. There is this ideology that when I am of the opposition, anything that comes from the CBDM is wrong. And there is this ideology that when I'm from the CBDM, anything that comes from the opposition is wrong. That is why we have a parliament that is very, very weak, that cannot defend the interests of the people. Because the idea is that
they are not paying allegiance to the people who voted them. They are paying allegiance to the party. Either you are an SDF militant, you pay allegiance to SDF. Either you are a CPDM, you pay allegiance to CPDM. Because normally there should be a time where something is coming from the government, and those in the position saying, okay, yes, we trust, we believe in it, we like it, it is good. And there should also be a time when something should come from the opposition, and those in the CPDM say, okay, yes, it is good, we like it, it's good. But we have always had this tendency that when you are an opposition, anything that comes from the CPDM is wrong. When you are from the CPDM, anything that comes from the opposition is wrong. And when you come to a panel like this, any person who is from the CPDM is a bad man. When you come to a panel like this, if you are from the CPDM, any man who comes from this opposition is wrong. I think we should be ready to work for the interests of Cameroonians, not working for the interests of political parties. Tomorrow parties will go, but Cameroon will remain. If I see that you are from the opposition and you can help Cameroonians and you can deliver, I don't see any reason why I should not support you. I don't see why I should not give you a helping hand. My main aim is not that I am a CPDM. I must support them, whatever thing wrong they do. No. My main aim is that I am a Cameroonian. How can we do to better the lives of Cameroonians? When you go to when things are difficult, it is not selective. Prices of goods are going up. It's not selective that, okay, those of the CPDM you will pay less, those of the opposition you will pay more. No. I think it should be our collective effort to see that we work out a Cameroon, that people will live in peace and harmony. When you look at this crisis in the Northwest, it is getting difficult to be solved because when there are some people that maybe suggestion might come from the opposition, they will say no, they don't want to hear. I've always said that if we want to solve the Anglophone crisis, the three categories of people must sit on the table. We have the separatists, they must be there because they are all Cameroonians. Mm-hmm. The federalists, they must be there because they're all Cameroonians. The unionists, they must be there, they're all Cameroonians. We come together, we sit together, and we say, okay, why do you want to go your own way as a different Cameroon? You give reasons. Why do you want a federal state? You give reason. Why would you want a unity state? You give reason. At the end of it all, we come to conclusion that, okay, this is what can be good to all of us. But if we continue to fight, for how long are we going to fight? And the worst thing is that those who are feeling the pinch of this war are those who are innocent, those who don't even know what is happening. The villagers who are in the villages who don't even understand maybe the history of Cameroon. But now, since we don't have consciences, since we are only fighting to defend maybe what we want to get, we don't look at our plight, which is very, very bad. I think that times have come for Cameroonians to say no. We cannot live in a country where we are just fighting. You go to the north, youth are dying. You go to the northwest, youth are dying. The other day, they were giving statistics of the soldiers that have died. Somebody was saying that it is about 2,000 soldiers that have gone. I was asking myself, imagine the workforce of 2,000 youth. A workforce that has gone, 2,000 youth that have gone. Not to talk about those of Amber and the innocent people. We are losing our people for something that we have sat on the table and talk like brothers and sisters and move ahead.
Ok. Maintenant, quelle est ta proposition pour le gouvernement pour résoudre ces problèmes? Comme le parti Joviance, quelle est la position que le parti Joviance propose pour résoudre ces problèmes?
Le parti Joviance, ce qu'il peut proposer au gouvernement, ce qu'il a toujours proposé, c'est de faire une table ronde. Réunir les Camerounais autour du même table. Sans dire nord-ouest, sud-ouest, appeler les enfants camerounais qui crient, qui ont besoin de changement. Parce que même ce qui se passe au Nozo, c'est de changement qu'on en a besoin. Et ça a une base. Si nous ne parvenons pas à nous asseoir autour d'une table et notre père est assis, dit oui, mes enfants. Parce que quand quand le feu brûle dans la maison, celui qui a le dernier mot, c'est le père de la maison. Qu'il fasse asseoir ses enfants et qu'il regarde le problème de fond en comble et qu'on essaie ensemble de résoudre ce problème. Tant qu'il n'a pas cette assise, il ne peut pas avoir une suite. Et c'est ce que nous réclamons, c'est ce que nous créons tous les jours. Le gouvernement doit faire asseoir le peuple camerounais du nord au sud, de l'est à l'ouest pour résoudre ces problèmes. Et ils savent que s'ils le font, le problème sera résolu. Et nous savons cela.
OK.
Donc, c'est ce que nous proposons.
Oh, merci beaucoup. Let me take on this message. This one rises. Good afternoon, my common people in the House of Commons. It is scary at this level that the military are still portraying these forms of act now truth. To be told that the military were not supposed to go at the festival, considering the fact that civilians were among the crowd, because they must bound to be civilians killing too in the process of attacking. Have a blessed day, this Sunday. I am Aaron, writing from Noni. This other right, it says, happy Sunday to you guys in the studio. I think that Amber fighters were killed in the operation. But my worry is that the civilians were also there. And that's why we need an investigation. Because sometimes you see people organizing their events in the northwest or southwest, and you see Amber will come there. We don't have guns to chase them away. The only thing we can do is just to do our activity without even getting into trouble with them. Because if you want to agitate, they will either kill you, and for you not to be killed, if you go and report to the military at the same time, the military will come and start shooting indiscriminately. Or sometimes the military may target some of you, or may want to take out these Amber boys and they may be prison attack. All we want is that this conflict is resolved and the government should look into it. Thank you very much. This one says, hello guys, greeting the studio. I am Ella Divan, writing from Kumba. I want to ask that, is the government really serious to end this crisis and the killing we hear every day and night? Because since the conflict started, civilians are dying every day and night. Military personnel are dying day and night. And the law-making house called Parliament has never discussed anything concerning this crisis, and we still sit down here and say the crisis will be resolved. When it will be resolved, me, I don't see this crisis resolving with this particular government. Thank you very much. Chief Ebong, guy calling. Chief, good morning, Chief. Good morning, Your Majesty. Yes, Chief, I know. Right on.
The Makiza business is not starting in Cameroon today. It's an old situation we know in Cameroon during the days of Aïdjo. And to the best of my knowledge, at that time, the problem, they were looking and fighting for independence to liberate us from the colonial power. Today, we have the independence. But what we have today is people are looking for survival, not a matter of fighting for good peace. And my worries are that let us have a genuine dialogue. Bring all the parties on deck so that we discuss. It's unfortunate that during the days of Patrick Ekema and Cardinal Tume decided that there should be, first of all, let's have an Anglophone dialogue in Boya, so that people should come together and speak out their mind. But Ekema decided to stop that move. Today, different persons have come up, like Bobala and Dr. Muzu, bringing up that same idea. I hope And let us pray to God that let their message go through so that we all sit down and dialogue so that we bring the point out. What do I mean by this? The Northwest and Southwest, or Anglophone in general, no matter the age, grassroots, to the highest educated PhD holder, will join in there and come up with sound points to submit. Let it be that we have an organized come together in there. We read facts. Let's forget what Dongu Poncha and the rest did in Fumbat. Their error and their time has gone. But today, those we consider elites and educated people, they are not speaking our mind. They are there in Yaoundé, supporting the government in power because they have their benefits. And we should first of all blame them. An Anglophone, let us blame ourselves. We are never speaking with one mouth or one voice. We have a lot of contradictions. Those who did history, they are talking a different type of history. Those who were present and alive are speaking their own type of history. Since writing a book today, it's a money-making mechanic to confuse and distort the history of Cameroon. So I'm begging that let that new concept of Abobala and Dr. Munzu, let us come to one, be organized and put our facts down. Because I don't think if an army is going to a war, if the army's armory is not well stocked, you cannot go and fight with empty hands. Your armory should be well stocked. So what do I mean by this? Let us join our facts and try again La République if they will accept. Those who are even canvassing for the vice president, that has nothing to use. I saw people like they saw who do I call? He went to United Nations to say they will be representing, doing all what not. Those are people who don't speak. They only clap hands. They just sit quiet. Even if they have appointed a vice president, that thing is not having any meaning to my own opinion. Thank you. I'm Chimdape. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Your Royal Majesty, calling from Coupé Maninguba. That is a chief calling from Coupé Maninguba. Et maintenant, quelle est ta part de proposition sur le chef traditionnel Onozo? Parce que ce sont eux qui vivent la réalité. Et le moment que la crise a commencé, beaucoup beaucoup ont quitté les villages et venir ici à Douala et aussi à Yaoundé.
Les chefs traditionnels, ils savent la jeunesse du Cameroun. Ils savent ce qui a occasionné ces guerres. Ils auraient dû, dès le début, parce que les chefs traditionnels ont l'influence sur la population, sur leur peuple. Ils auraient dû, dès le début, appeler leurs enfants, leur dire de ne pas aller par les armes. Aller par autre voie que de prendre les armes. Les armes ne résolvent jamais un problème. Ce problème dégénère parce qu'on a commencé et directement à peine parlé, on a pris les armes. Et quand on prend déjà les armes, ça veut dire quoi? La rancune entre dedans, la vengeance entre dedans, les règlements de compte entre dedans. C'est ça qui est le plus difficile quand on prend les armes. Le chef du village devait, depuis longtemps, calmer la situation en appelant sa population. Parce qu'ils savent qui sont tous ces gens-là. Les chefs du village savent. Il suffit seulement qu'un chef de communauté, au début, et pas maintenant qu'on les parle, mais ils ne peuvent même plus comprendre. Pour le moment, là, ils ne peuvent même plus. Les chefs, là, on les parle même. Mais au début, là, ils devaient encore faire quelque chose. Mais pour le moment, vraiment, ce que je demande à mes frères, c'est l'apaisement. comme je dis toujours, la guerre ne construit pas un pays. La guerre n'apporte pas une solution à un problème. Je demande à mes frères l'apaisement. Je demande au gouvernement l'écoute. L'écoute. Il doit écouter son peuple.
Okay.
Yeah, what she's saying, let me intervene.
Let me just read this message. Intervene. This one says, people asking what the people were doing there is just because you are not living in this area. There can never be a gathering without these boys, even in the market or on market days. Then if you are in this place, if you are in this place, how can you dissociate yourself from these boys? The people are not happy with them. They don't know the people they are living with. Above all, the military is hostile to the population in the way that they cannot be able to have necessary information. Brother Fai writing from Kumbu. Yes, you wanted to say.
I want to say that sometimes I would say that the military, they should, what he's saying is completely very correct. You know, there was a time when we had a problem with the Forum Biami, when he was coming from Europe.
Yes.
The Amber boys went and welcomed him. And he had the confrontation with the Dio of Kumbu that he had allowed the Amber boys to come and welcome him. The fun at that time, he has no say. There's nothing to do. If they come, you have nothing to do. I don't think that this Amber
somebody's
boys,
having go and you want to talk to the person.
The military know where these boys are. We should not pretend. If you are going to Kumbu, they know that you meet them at Wainama, you meet them at Shanghai, you meet them here before you go and reach Kumbu. Somebody was asking a question the other day. How many times have the military gone to Wainama to fight these boys? How many times? Because when you go to Kumbu, people know. People have gone to Kumbu, right to Kambe. They know that these are the checkpoints of the Ambas.
It's a known fact.
It's a known fact. Now, why don't you go and attack them there? Why leave them now when they go and mix amongst the civilians before you go there to attack? If these boys, they said, okay, the military went and finished all of them who are at the checkpoint in Wainama, there would have been a problem. That the military went and finished all of them that are at the checkpoint that would not be a problem. But when they come to an issue where the military has to go inside the population to fish them out, knowing fully well that you cannot fish these people out without human casualties, that's where I have small blame for the military. So I think that, like Madam said, that at first, the funds could stop what was happening. Madam, I want to be very categorical with you. It could not have worked. Because Sanepepa Marché, when it started, there was a lot of anxiety.
Le chef traditionnel ne pouvait pas.
There was no. C'est comme le feu qui brûle quand ça a commencé.
Et qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Moi, je reviens toujours. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Le feu ne prend pas. Hein?
Mr. Javis, if you look at it now, you know why the fund has a lot of problems. Because when this war started, he called his subject in the palace and told them, now look, this is a Cameroon problem. It's not a South problem. Don't put your mouth there. You know how it was interpreted? That the fund is supporting the opposite side, and today the fund is out of the palace and living here only. So when this crisis started, it was like if you have any contrary opinion, you are a black leg. I'm sure you quite remember this concept of black leg came up. So I want to think that, as Ella said, Madam, the only thing that we can do now is dialogue. When we dialogue, we come to a consensus. Because sometimes they will ask that, okay, government should dialogue with who? That's a question that has been asked. Les gens ont demandé qu'il faut dialoguer avec qui? Mais les gens en prison, comme le Nara 10, les Ayuk Sissoko Tabi, those are the people that government can talk to them.
Je vais vous...
Yes. Because, Mr. Javis, if you go to the Northwest, I'm giving a practical reality. The people in the Northwest still believe that the president is in prison. I want to bet you that if Ayuk Tabe and the rest, they are released, this crisis will be 70% solved. You need to see the euphoria that was in Bamida. The day it was said that the
Supreme Court strike down the life sentence.
The life sentence of Ayuk Tabe and the rest. People were excited. People were happy. See, we should not tell lies. We should be very factual. Amber is bad. Yes. But the Northwest people and the Southwest people, they see Amber as a necessary evil. They see it as a necessary evil. That, why? Because of the harassment from the military. That is why, if you go to the Northwest, to be very frank, when the military are killed, the people are happy. That's a fact. The people are happy. Although they might not show it openly, but you go to the drinking spot, they talk about it jovially.
But what if also
Meaning-
the boys are killed? Some of those terrorists, the people we have seen areas where the people have celebrated military arrival in their community, celebrated the
Yes.
killing of armed fighters.
That's
too,
why we
eh?
are saying that we have categories of armed fighters. There are some people that are just out to harass the armed fighter that are just out to harass others. But there are some others maybe have some small professionalism in them.
Ok.
Yes.
Tu voulais répondre?
Je disais ceci. Je disais à monsieur que le feu ne jaillit pas. Le feu commence par une braise. Et qu'est-ce qui attise la braise? Le feu ne jaillit pas. Je dis que tous ces chefs traditionnels, là, ils savent d'où le problème sort. Ils savent, tous les chefs de Douala d'ailleurs, du Cameroun, autant pour moi. Ils savent ce que les gens du nord-ouest et sud-est veulent. C'est ça que dit le chef d'État, qui est notre président actuel. Il doit faire asseoir ses enfants, les Camerounais. Qu'on ne demande pas que ceux qui sont en prison. Non. Quand il y a le feu dans la maison, on éteint d'abord le feu avant de demander qu'est-ce qui s'est brûlé, qu'est-ce qui ne s'est pas brûlé. Présentement, nous ne voulons pas savoir qui est en prison, qui n'est pas en prison. Que cette guerre s'arrête, les gens de la prison seront libérés. Ils seront libérés. Que cela s'arrête. Il faut d'abord qu'on parvienne à résoudre le problème qui est là, qu'on puisse arrêter le massacre, que les Camerounais marchent en sécurité. C'est de ça qu'il est question. Si le Camerounais marche en sécurité, même celui qui est en prison, même étant en prison, va se sentir protégé. Il sera content. Tu vois, celui qui est en prison est content d'être en prison, est fier. Il sait qu'il a laissé sa famille derrière, il ne sait pas ce qui va arriver à sa famille. Il ne se soucie pas de lui-même. Il est déjà en prison, il est déjà protégé. Mais sa famille, qu'est-ce qu'ils deviendront? Donc, essayons un peu de voir les choses de ce côté-là. Il faut que nous nous asseyons, nous les enfants du Cameroun, nous nous asseyons. C'est notre pays. Un enfant ne sort pas d'ailleurs pour résoudre le problème dans une maison. C'est nous qui devons résoudre ce problème. C'est le problème des Camerounais.
Ok, merci. Il y a quelqu'un qui parlait ici. Allô? Yes. Là, il a fini.
Et qu'est-ce qu'il disait?
Non, je voulais comparer ce qu'il disait, mais il a annulé. Good afternoon, Mr. Javis and your panelists. The government of Cameroon is running away from dialogue because they have no legal argument over, Southern Cameroon. If not, why did they run away from the Swiss and Canadian mediation talks? Okay, they cannot say it. They cannot say it an internal problem because it is a two states that came together. Emil writing from Yaoundé. This one says, hi, good afternoon. I am Daniel Shea texting from the city chemist Bamenda. Please, I always do listen to the Bamenda man speaking. Honestly, truth is, he is speaking the mind of most Bamenda people. We are all Cameroonian, but there is a problem. Dear Javis and panelists, panelist in white has spoken my mind. That is Mr. Kimbang has spoken my mind. Mr. Kimbang has spoken my mind. He says the military cannot kill 14 amber in a festival without killing civilians. They claim they burned 38 bikes belonging to Amber. How did they identify them? Thank you, Nkwan Jacob, writing from Bamenda. This one says, happy Sunday to the team and in the studio. I am writing to to express my frustration with our current legislative body, whether ruling party or opposition. Our legislators have proven themselves weak. In the northwest and southwest, we have seen representatives lost their life, yet their colleagues still refuse to demand a parliamentary debate on the crisis. It is a tragedy that Cameroonians are not represented by leaders, but by selfish individuals who prioritize their position over the lives of the people. Carson, Brussels, Germany. We're out of time. We want to thank you, Mr. Kimbang, for coming.
Thanks very much, Mr. Javis.
Yes.
I think when it comes to the issues of the Northwest, we should be very frank. We should speak the truth, because the lives of Cameroonians, especially those in the Northwest, where we, those of us living in the Northwest, we are really feeling the pinch. So I'll also call on those who represent us, that when they are voted and they go to Parliament, I think we expect a lot from them. So when things are happening like this and they are mute, they are quiet, it seems as if they are not there for us. So I would plead with all the parliamentarians that when they go to Parliament, they should try to table a bill. How do we look at the problem in the Northwest? How can we solve it? The Northwest and Southwest, how can we solve it? Because sincerely, we are really dying. And we cannot continue to say that everything is under control. But there are some government officials who will say that everything is under control, but they cannot go to the Northwest. There are some villages that they cannot, and there are some villages that schools are not going. The other day, I look at my school, government bilingual high school, Jakiri, and I shed tears. That's a school that was almost like 1,000 students.
We're out of time.
It is a farming ground. So thank you very much.
Madame, merci d'être venue.
Merci, monsieur
Javis.
Monsieur Javis. Merci,
Vitalis.
Mr. Vitalis. Mr. Vitalis. Merci de m'avoir reçu sur votre plateau pour cet échange. Si j'ai un dernier mot à dire à mes frères en zone de guerre, arrêtez. Parce que c'est votre jeunesse que vous détruisez. Demain, vous n'aurez pas de témoignage. Si vous tuez toute la jeunesse, qui va en témoigner demain? Arrêtez, s'il vous plaît, mes frères du nord-ouest, du sud-ouest, du nord. Vraiment, arrêtons.
Okay. Happy New Month to you, those of you watching us. I want to wish you Happy New Month, all of our viewers. Happy New Month to you, Didi in Switzerland. Happy New Month to you, Didi, my very good friend, and your entire family, your mothers and your entire brothers and sisters. Happy New Month to you too, Doro Bucci, Dorothy. Happy New Month to you, Dorothy, in Belgium. Happy New Month to you, Doro. Happy New Month to you, Nelly. Happy New Month to you, Nelly, and Happy New Month to all those of you watching us. Until we meet again, no matter the matter, what matters is your matter, and what should matter for you is that you should stay out of trouble. My name is Tah Javis, Cameroon's commercial capital, Fengu John Banga. Until we meet again, bye bye.